Hello again and welcome back to The Front Row, a minor production of the First Congregational Church in South Pekin, where our intent is to bring snippets from our Sunday morning message into your week. We are wrapping up another week of difficult conversation. We thought last week was tough. Man, this is a tough one too, for different reasons. And part of it's because of the dichotomous reality of the beautiful blessing of leaning into this particular discipline and the other side of things that we'll refer to as the abuse of power. Because in the world of submitting to others and considering others better than yourself, that can be taken advantage of, and we don't want to be taken advantage of. And I'm not advocating this abuse of power side of things. Our author actually touches on that. I won't spend too much time on it today, but he talks about this line of demarcation, this place where that attitude of submission and others before self meets a line of destruction. And when it meets that line, it's time to walk away. We've got Peter and Paul by example that actually, they call us, just as a specific example, they call us to obedience to our governing authorities, okay? If our government says we should do something, we should do something. Jesus called us to give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, pay your taxes, those kind of things, right? But both Paul and Peter, in their example, when they were faced with a governmental edict that actually flied in the face of God's calling on their lives, they said to the governing authorities, whom should we obey, man or God? We're going to do what God says. So there's a line of destruction in this conversation that we need to be very aware of. And my caution to us would be that we grow to be very aware of where that line is, kind of like a fence that protects us from something dangerous on the other side. But be willing to play freely up and against that fence, to use that line. But don't allow the threat of the abuse of power to keep you from fully embracing a submissive heart and mindset on this side of the fence. And it's really easy to do. I'm so concerned, so worried about the abuse of power that I'm going to be guarded over here. I'm going to be cautious. I'm not going to fully enter in. And I would caution us against that. To know where the line is. And I get it. We are complex humans in a complex world. That's a difficult conversation. I don't have the answers. You don't have the answers. We got to figure that out. It's a discernment process. It's a prayerful process. It's a meditative process. But whatever arena we might be playing in, we can look and we can find that line and we can play as deeply in the space of freedom and in this discipline right up to and against the fence. And then when it crosses that line, or we're tempted to cross that line, we can walk away relatively unemotionally and say, no, I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to obey God, not man. We don't have to wait till we get to some emotional breaking point and burn bridges while we're doing it. We can just appreciate where that line is. So got a little further into that today than I wanted to, so we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to come back tomorrow with some practical ways that we can embrace the discipline of submission. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.